I've been in information technology in the shipping industry all my life, so I would like to convey a little bit of the problems and the issues that I've seen so far. I was the penguin once, I'm now the guy on the right. So there is definitely an obstacle or a resistance within IT and shipping. Definitely, people are not very early adopters. Shipping people are not very keen in utilizing ERP systems, which are absolutely common ground in any other industry, in land-based industry. Some of this may be related with personal interests. You know, people don't want to be controlled. Some of it is simply that people do not understand the advantages and the benefits of it. And a lot of, in any case, is personal. And definitely the shipping industry is suffering from this lack of awareness of the IT. One interesting thing that I find out, it's not probably only the shipping industry, because when I was preparing the presentation, and I used the cliparts functionality in PowerPoint, I typed the word search for problems, and all I got is problems with computers. As you can see, every single icons that appeared was not an accident with a car, an accident with an airplane, or an explosion and so on, but it was entirely related with computers. So, and this is a typical one. So obviously, we do have an issue with technology. It's not new. For those who like history, you may remember the Luddites, you know, the people who were against technology with the steam machines, you know, during the Industrial Revolution in 1811 in England. And they went around breaking, you know, literally destroying the machines because they did not want technology to take a role. But you have to understand why, because software is simply a tool. It's simply something that we are using in order to make our life better. And it's ubiquitous today. When you go to a supermarket, you are absolutely familiar with the fact that the cashier will use a barcode system. And when you go to buy something, you literally don't expect the guy, like, you know, on board of a ship say, I need a spare part, I'll be back in 2 hours, I have to scan the whole ship to find out if we have it. In a shop, you normally expect to take whatever is there or to locate it into a computer. But when it comes to us, I'm a chief engineer, so I'm talking about myself. When it comes to us, it gets a little bit more complicated. I'll try to explain why. First of all, we are definitely resistant to changes. All of us. We like we like our habits. We like to take our cup of coffee the same way with 2 spoons of sugars. We like to do things as constantly identical as possible. So anything that changes our habits is seen, you know, with disdain. It's seen as a danger to our own life, okay? And changing the way we work is pretty difficult. It is something that we don't like to be imposed on, and therefore, as managers, we have to find the ways to commit people to the changes. Why do people resist them? The main issue, again, is totally personal, especially when, you know, you are my age, you know, I'm very young, 62, and what happens is that if I'm confronted with something new, I will ask myself, am I going to be able to use it? Will I lose power? Imagine, you know, I'm a procurement manager. I hope there aren't many here, otherwise I lose my job. But I'm a procurement manager, and I know absolutely everything about my suppliers. And all of a sudden, I'm asked to insert all the information in a software so that the junior trainer can almost have my same know-how. He will find out exactly who supplies what, at what price, in which timing, and so on. And therefore, all of a sudden, I feel my position is undermined. I will feel threatened, and I will feel, oh my God, now I'm going to be obsolete, I cost too much money, I'm going to be substituted by a computer. So all these activities go, even if you don't think about it, in reality, your brain is thinking about this for you guys. And therefore, it is with the loss of job security, especially in times where there are budget cuts, and it hits on my personal well-being. So, the task of the management, when a new IT system is implemented, or even a navigation system is implemented, or even an ACTIS is implemented, is to explain the reasons behind it and to fight against these resistance, which are embedded in us. Now, the interesting part of my activity has been to identify within an organization the people who really like to be involved in changes, the ones who don't give a damn about it, but they will do it because in any case, you know, they have to do it. The ones who will resist and will explain, maybe will motivate, but will be against. And the ones who will be against, but will not say so, but will try everything they can to undermine the project. These are the most dangerous ones. So you have 4 types of individuals in a company: the enthusiasts, the followers, the objectors, and the underground. So the enthusiasts are the ones that you can talk to, you can bring a new software, and they will say, yes, I love it, I want to be the first one to use it, can I please do it, can I please, please, please? You know, and obviously, as you can understand, they're very rare. You know, if you find 1 in your organization, you're lucky, depending on the size, maybe 2, but it is definitely very, very rare. But of course, they will see the innovation as a challenge. They will see it as something good to have for the company, so they will project a positive image, not only to themselves, because they will see it, hey, if I learn enough, you know, maybe I'll have a better career. But they see it for the whole organization. So these are very good people, and they look like this a little bit, you know. Because they say, yes, I want it so much. Then you have the followers. The followers are, shit, you know, if I have to do it, okay. But essentially, you need them. They are 70, 80%. We are all followers. You know, you look at the train. There is 1 locomotive and a lot of wagons behind. So a lot of us are followers. We follow our politicians, even if we hate them. You know, they are the locomotives. Unfortunately, they are. They put themselves at risk, at power, and so on, for us to follow them. They are compliant, so you need them. You need the leader, but you need also them. And they look like this. That's it, if I have to do it. I like the guy, by the way. He has a plastic face, you know. He can interpret any spirit, really. The objectors, you will identify them immediately in any meeting. The way they are sitting. They stay like this, you know. They distantiate themselves from the table, you know, they push back. They don't want to be involved. They are negative. Sometimes the negativity is important because you don't want to be surrounded by people who always say yes, 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 of course, because you are the boss. You need some people to give you the negative feedback because it is important that you get it. But of course, you have to identify them and convince them, you know, until they stay with the hands like this. And I noticed that once I did this, a lot of you went immediately open your arms, which is good because it means that you became more receptive to what I'm saying. Because until you're like this, you're saying, I really don't like the guy, you know, I don't like what he's saying. As soon as you open, you say, wow, okay, this is interesting. So you have to open them up. I don't think it's going to work. And then the worst part of the lot. These people, sometimes they have a personal interest, sometimes even economic. So they don't want innovation, okay? And so they do absolutely everything to undermine any project. And these are the dangerous ones. If they are at a high level, there is no way. I identify, when I go to customers now, prospects, I identify them. If I see the CEO as being an underground, I walk out because I say, I'm wasting my time, okay? So it's very important to identify the people who say, no, I don't want a system like Amos. I don't want another solution because it's going to undermine me. I don't want it. I'll do everything I can for it to fail. So these are the people who will really try to block the system. They will not come to trainings. They will do everything in their powers. And they look like this. So essentially, you know, when you start an IT project, you have to involve everybody, to tell them what your expectations are, why you're doing it. Especially, you have to say, we are not doing it in order to, you know, substitute all of you with a computer, because a computer is a tool. You know, you have a screwdriver and you have a screw, but you still need somebody, you know, to operate it. So it's only a tool, but you need to explain it. You need to find out what exactly the goals are and what you expect from them. So the people are also involved into the project. They don't become just the victims of the project. And so, can sailors and software live together, sailors and IT? As I said, I've been doing this job now I was first a user of my software, and then I've been involved now 17 years, and I'm happy to say that we've been doing this for 30 years and it works. But it is important that you remember what I just said, because I've seen a lot of time projects not going as well, I'm not saying failing, but not going as well as they could in other companies, simply because of the human factors. Because the software is a software, you know, 1, 2, or 3, they're all the same at the end of the day. So changing is a must, progressing is a necessity, and remember the habits are terrible, you know, to have, and terrible and very difficult to be broken. Thank you very much.